What's going on, everyone? IVG here, Coach Houston Tyrant Jumps here for my WWPL Week 3 post-commentary match against Trainer Soar. Like I said, he was my replacement in my team builders. And also, if you haven't seen my team builder, go check that out because I explained all my team. Even though, bringing the fourth wall, it's a different... My team that I built was prepped for a different team on my opponent's end. But, even though I can't give you what I expect him to bring, I could tell you that I did expect the Deoxys, the Rhydon, and the Tentacruel to come. Did not expect the Moltres. All in all, I probably expected Mega Arno if he had it still. But he ended up bringing that, and he also had the Togedemaru and Sceptile, which I did not know he had made changes. And also did not know that this was a Mega Sceptile during the battle until like within the midst of the battle. But anyways, I'll try to keep this at a slow pace, just so I can have enough turns to explain the plays on what I thought during the match. Anyways, let's just get started. So turn 1, I lead with Rakuna, expecting him to lead Deoxys, which he does so. And so right here, I decided to trap the thing instantly and go for the infestation. He taunts, expecting me to set like sticky webs or something, but I prepped the thing for something especially for him, so that I would be able to deal with the Deoxys. He ended up going for the knockout this next turn, so I do lose my Aya Papa Berry, but I did end up getting the knockout with the infestation because the liquidation does not kill, but I'm able to deal with the Deoxys early on in the match, so I don't have to deal with it at a later time. He brings the Togedemaru, so I just bring in my Arcanine, which deals with the Togedemaru, but he ends up going for the Nuzzle. I'm guessing to deal with whatever comes in, even if I decide to stay in. Hold on. Sorry. This turn I decided to make a sweep in Registeel since I know he doesn't have anything scary. And also was good because I predicted the spiky shield that he got for. He goes for Nuzzle this turn, but I'm able to get up my rocks this turn regardless if I get paralyzed. Really, the speed is not hindering me that much as far as this point, so I really wasn't mad about it. He goes into Tentacruel, and I just go for the switch into Arcanine, thinking that he would stay in, but he makes a good prediction right here, so I had to make a double swap into Fire since it deals with Tentacruel. He ended up showing Waterfall, which I was very scared of, but I just go for the Freeze Dry right here just to do some damage to the Tentacruel, but I know the Waterfall could not kill me, but he ended up just removing the hazards on his side of the field with the Rapid Spin, which I was expecting him to Waterfall just to have the chance to knock up my Cryogonal early on in the match. Right here, it's swapped into Togedemaru. I get the Freeze Dry, but I do end up freezing this turn, which really didn't matter, because if we decided to stay in this turn, I would have gone for the Hidden Power and just Hidden Power Ground and just knock this thing out. So really, the freeze didn't matter. He ended up showing Sceptile right here, so I made the swap into Rakuna, expecting this thing to be specially offensive, but it turns out he is physically offensive and reveals the Rock Slide that could have hit the Cryogonal. So I end up getting a misplay all in all, but I have the switch in being Registeel, so I'm able to deal with whatever this Sceptile has. He reveals Thunder Punch, I'm guessing for me to swap into Greninja, if anything, but we're expecting me to stay in so that he doesn't have to miss a Rock Slide, but at this point I realized that he probably would have like Leaf Blade and like Dragon Claw, if anything, so he wouldn't have any sort of stab like Earthquake or I should say, I don't mean stab, I mean like coverage move that would do a lot of damage to Registeel other than its stab, grass or giant type moves or Thunder Punch that he did show. So Registeel was a really good thing to have to keep on later on this match. He swaps out and goes into Tentacruel, and I decided to get up my Stealth Rocks up again since I did get Rapid Sprint away. And in the following turn, I decided to stay in because I wanted to get rid of the thing with Seismic Toss, and that's what I do so. And he sets up the Toxic Spike, only one layer, so I don't have to deal with stacked poison later on. He brings in the Rhydon, and I wanted to talk this thing regardless if it had Earthquake, but he ended up going with Fire Punch. I did not know why he did Fire Punch, probably expecting me to go in the Cryogonal, if any, but I feel like at this point it would be best to hit what's in front of him, so I guess Fire Punch was his best play all in all. So I talked to this Rhydon regardless of what set he could bring this thing. I do get paralyzed, which I was planning on going for the protect to stall a turn, but ended up getting stealth rocks, setting up stealth rocks. So this turn I could still stall out the Rhydon. I live another fire punch, and I'm able to seismic toss, so I chip this thing down a little bit more. The toxic is just really just putting this thing down all in all a little bit more. I get to protect off this turn, so I can stall another turn of toxic, and I believe after this turn I go into my Earth Swing because this provides a next turn sack, because the Rhydon would die to poison and it would not knock out the Earth Swing, since I don't think it had a good move to knock it out with. Even like Earthquake wouldn't knock it out. But after this turn he goes to the Mega Sceptile, which I bring in the Earth Swing, which now has no viable usage as far as now. So I decided to sack this thing off to the Sceptile to get me a Clint swap into my Arcanine, which lowers its attack to make it less threatening. Right here I go for the Flare Blitz, but it's able to outspeed me, go for the Rock Slide, and get the flinch, or I should say the Paraflinch since it's paralyzed too. So it's just stacking the hacks. So right here I go for the Extreme Speed so I get a little bit of damage. Does a lot because of the crit, but I do go down to the Rock Slide. Right here I go into Registeel because it's able to deal with the Sceptile, but due to the fact that I'm paralyzed, this Leaf Blade just does a little bit of chip, but I'm not able to attack the Sceptile. This next turn he swaps into his Moltres, realizing that I really can't do much to it, but I go for the Seismic Toss and it's already down to a quarter of its health. And right here, at this following turn, I swap into Cryogonal as a sack to deal with the Moltres, and he just wastes uses the Fire MZ that he might as well use because it has no use to get, and possibly just get a kill on something. Right here I bring Greninja, and right here I go for the Water Shuriken just to get rid of the Moltres. When hindsight, what really I could have done is I could have gone for the Ice Beam, so that way he would have to click a non-stab move instead of a stab move and do a lot of damage. Right here goes in Sceptile now and clicks Thunder Punch. Oh no, I go for the Water Shuriken just to get a little bit of chip damage, which it does not knock out. I believe if I got a crit with at least one of those and got max 5-turn Water Shuriken with the least crit, I would be able to knock the thing out. But unfortunately I missed out on the KO. He's Thunder Punches right here. I do live, which leads me to believe now that I could have just turned myself into an Ice type. I do not know if I would have knocked out Moltres, but at least would have put a lot of offensive pressure on the Sceptile and possibly would not have to lose Greninja on this turn. And then finally I had to bring in Registeel, because if I bring in Arachnid, it does lose the Sceptile. Mega Sceptile. So really Registeel is my chance to win right here. And he decides to go for the Paraflinches right here, just so he has at least somewhat of a good chance to winning. But I get to protect him, so I'm able to stall at least some turns of Rock Slide and get back leftovers recovery if I'm able to get click protect. And on this following turn, he clicks Rock Slide and is not able to Paraflinch me, and I do end up getting the knockout with the Seismic Toss on the Sceptile. So really, Registeel saved me a whole lot throughout this match, even though he had made the team changes, and I was a little bit upset because I was sort of a little salty because of the fact that he had gotten team changes and I did not know. And it was like the day after our battle that the docs for that he made his team changes was updated, and I really should have asked him. So I guess it's a little kind of my fault, but I was just so mad about it that I was not informed of his team changes before our match. But anyways, this is a match. Hopefully y'all guys enjoy, and we'll see y'all in week 4, which hopefully this series will continue on, or this league I should say will continue on. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.